Rebecca Michael back, just doing another quick video. This one is a cautionary video on sleeping with the enemy. And what I speak of here is narcissists and psychopaths on a spectrum of severity. So from moderate to severe. They're going to be secret enemies or frenemies because it's a disease of hiding under a mask. And I'll get into the mask later in a different video. But basically what you're dealing with is a duplicitous secret enemy. And it's mostly covert abuse, passive aggressive, while they're saccharine sweet to your face, for example. You'll get things like the signs, you'll get things like gaslighting, silent treatments, stonewalling, smearing, backstabbing behind your back. And they'll often couch this as concern for you. But what they're doing is they're setting up the discard stage, and you're definitely in the devalue stage of the 4 stages that I talked about in the Kanban video, love scams. You might want to check that out. But briefly, the 4 stages are idealization or re-idealization, devalue, discard, and hoovering or recycling the target that's been shelved quite possibly for years. So what you're dealing with behind your back is often what they call a preemptive smear campaign. And they're setting up the discard. And sometimes this video is cautionary because I'm using Chris Watts, who murdered his pregnant wife and 2 little girls in a horribly callous way. Very upsetting. Still, can't get my head around it. But anyway, you know, you see him on TV. It's a mask of sanity. So they seem normal. They can even seem better than normal. But that's all a mask. That's all a facade, because what's under it is pathological envy, pathological lying, and the infidel Judas thing that I'm talking about here behind your back, and the passive aggressive, usually passive aggressive with these. They're hiding it. It's covert abuse. And they're setting up the discard, and sometimes the discard is murder. And this has occurred in my family and some other people I've met. So these people hide well. That's the cautionary thing here. And so the signs of Judas infidels, for example, if you see other signs such as they don't celebrate your successes, they'll ignore them or dismiss them. And if you look at the videos of Chris Watts, you can see he looks like he's barely tolerating his wife, who is working really hard to provide for the family or do her part. And you can see the pathological envy every now and again, and the sly looks, you know, the withdrawal of affection, he kind of goes inward, he withdraws, he's passive aggressive, you know, you can see the pathological envy there. He doesn't want to acknowledge her. And in no way, shape, or form am I implicating or advocating victim shaming, because I just think she was awesome. We all have our issues, right? But I just think she was beyond awesome, and she did whatever she could to be excellent. And I think excellent is something to be celebrated. So, not this guy. This guy was an envious, secretly sleeping with the enemy. He was harboring murder fantasies while he's having an affair. He's a chronic infidel with that other infidel that was with him. I don't know how much she knew, but the more you know, the worse it is. But she may or may not be a chronic one. I don't know. She may have learned her lesson horribly and just never gone there again. But anyway, this is just a cautionary video about sleeping with the enemy and the signs to watch out for. Definitely envy. Okay, so if somebody's not celebrating your successes, there's something wrong with that. You know, if they're dismissive or ignoring you or ignoring it or just giving it a passing when it should be a celebration because it's a major achievement, that's a huge red flag. You need to get out. Whether it's a frenemy or sleeping with the enemy, you know, if you keep seeing signs like this that you're being downplayed, dismissed, ignored, no matter what, how much you do or what you're achieving, no, that's a big red flag. So behind your back, they'll also be trying to sabotage you, because when someone envies you, malice follows. It's not admiration. Admiration's a good thing. That's when you want to take in the good and you want to maybe internalize it and do likewise yourself. But envy is when you want to destroy the good. So malice is going to come with that. And they're going to be trying to sabotage you behind your back, most definitely. So it's like you're rowing a boat, rowing really hard, trying to get through, get your family through or whatever, as you see Shanann was doing on her videos. His wife that he murdered and the two little girls, his pregnant wife. And here's this guy drilling holes in the back of the boat, right? Just, if you don't get out, you're going to be on a sinking ship is the message there. And this in no way is any diss on her. As a matter of fact, I utterly celebrate the woman. I just think she was awesome. And I don't, to say she didn't deserve what she got is a huge understatement. Was absolutely horrible. And those little girls, my God. But anyway, that's my cautionary video on sleeping with the enemy. Please be very careful if you see the signs that I just talked about. So the solution is you need a safety exit plan, because like I said, sometimes the discard stage of their narc abuse cycle, their psychopathic bond cycle, is murder. So this is no joke. And they hide well. So, and they can fool therapists, they can fool the experts. The experts get taken in by them. So this is nothing on you. You just, if you see these signs of betrayal, okay, they're emotional parasites and predators as well. And you can see that with him as well. Like, you know, you can just see the way he was parasitic on her emotionally. But he hated her at the same time, like, because he envied her, right? Just horrible. Anyway, so you need a safety exit plan if you see these signs. And discard them first before they can discard you is the best thing to do. And also, if you want them to stay gone, you need to go low to no contact. I mean, if you have to have something to do with them for some reason, low contact, emotionally detached. And they're not going to give you closure, so you need to get your own closure. The reason they don't give you closure is so they can come back, because there's something left unresolved. So you need a safety exit plan out. And also, later, from a safe distance, one way they won't come back also to recycle you. I've been recycled four times in 4 decades, at least. I didn't know what was going on, but I do now. So I'm imparting this knowledge, because if you don't know how they think, like I said, they can fool the experts. So these can be very dangerous people. And if you expose them, they won't be back. But make sure you're safe. Make sure you're from a safe distance. Like you're, you know, they're not, you know, otherwise go legal. And do what you can in the legal system, and or arm yourself, protect yourself then if you need to. Self-defense. So that's all for now, Phoenix. That's what I call everybody rising up out of the ashes. We're all phoenixes here, so I call everybody that at my Facebook page. It kind of gives you a way to conceptualize getting out of this and overcoming it for yourself, getting up out of the trauma And I'll be doing some videos on post-traumatic growth later. But right now, I'm still laying a foundation. Anyway, take care, Phoenix. Rise up.